So I got this DM, and I don't think to check my DMs. I have a ton of them, and I accidentally, was scrolling and then hit on messages, and I came across this one, but I always forget about DMs. So, but I wanted to read this. I have 3 sisters who are nurses and one who is a nurse practitioner, and the whole system is corrupt. They have been assaulted by patients and thrown under the bus by management. My twin sister, who is a nurse practitioner, had to move jobs because the doctor she was working under was so abusive. She had a mental break from the whole experience and almost quit altogether. And after all that, the doctor is still practicing and terrorizing every nurse practitioner she gets. It is so frustrating that the system is clearly broken and they just seem oblivious. I was so happy to finally see someone talking about it. Please keep going. You are making a difference to some of us. I'm not a nurse, but I think the majority of our nurses go unappreciated, and it takes a toll mentally. So thank you for having a voice for the ones who don't. I pray that God blesses your channel and keeps it invisible from Satan's attacks. Thank you for that. I think the problem is people don't realize that what was once had more standards, the healthcare system, because of your medical association, nursing association, and then under those you have all the specialties, whether it's an ER association, NICU association, labor and delivery. They have all these specialty, and they're designed to trap you, really, because all those associations do, every one of them, is serve the federal government, and they are diseased at the top, and then they are connected to the credentialing board in every state. They are connected to your state association boards of nursing and credentialing board. It is a big web of diseased corruption. And what used to not be so bad 50, 60 years ago is bad now, because over time they've gotten more of the corrupt, depraved people in all of these big positions. And they serve the federal government. They all protect each other. The federal government protects the state protects the local, and then at the state level or the local level, then you have your Catholic organizations, mainly Catholic charities, that's involved in your state ward systems. Okay, so from top to bottom, it is a diseased system, and most people at this point know something's wrong, know it's corrupt, but figure there's nothing you can do. So that's part of the problem too, because then you have everybody that goes along with it. Okay, because you think you don't have much power, and because it's on such the corruption is not a superficial thing. 60 years ago it was. You still had nurses and you had people, they didn't have such a hold. Now they have all of their depraved nurses and people in these associations, and who knows if they even are really licensed. They could be like Lauren Underwood, who's a rep in my county, who supposedly took her boards but never once worked as a nurse, went right into Obama's administration, and now is a representative. Because she can serve as, I have an RN. Yeah, I had to call her ass, okay, after 2 years of lockdowns, because in my town, the nursing homes were still, after 2 years, not even letting patients out of their rooms. So I left 3 messages on her voicemail, because she was over I think she's a representative for my area. And I'm like, could you please, you're a nurse, you should know better. But then, of course, you never worked one day as one. So let me enlighten you. Taking quality of life away from people is not going to help save a life. So maybe you didn't learn that in nursing school. So it's corrupted through and through. They deliberately put these people in. I mean, who goes to nursing school, okay, because nursing school is hell, goes and takes their state board and then goes right into Obama's administration? Who does that? People can make all sorts of excuses, but it's sort of simple to tie together. They want somebody that's at a representative level, then she went on to get into elected, okay? And yet she's never worked as a nurse, but she can claim she's a nurse while helping to push the one-payer system. The one-payer system that the unions push, that all the medical and nursing, that's all designed, goes back to the UN. It's the way it is. People can accept it or not, but that's the reason things have gotten worse. but they've really gotten worse because all of the levels from the federal, state, local, to Catholic Charities, to all your associations in healthcare, they all protect each other. They protect the diseased, sick system. I saw it 13 years ago, and it is way worse today. So 13 years ago, working with state ward kids in a psychiatric hospital, Catholic Charities was like their advocacy. I'm going to show in a minute, because Catholic Charities has come under fire before, that they are not helping these kids. They aren't. Like, there's all these numbers up in the hospital that say that if the kid wants advocacy, they can call this number. Nobody ever answers. Catholic Charities, the Catholic Church is embedded with the whole DCFS ward systems in every state. And even if in your state it's not Catholic Charities, it'll be tied to one of the Catholic organizations, because the whole charity name is supposed to make you think, oh, they would care about kids. No, they don't. No, they don't. That chief nursing officer that did me wrong then tried to cover her ass, and then she went on to emotionally abuse a kid. That woman never should have been allowed to work as a nurse practitioner again, okay? But she was covered. She was covered from the university level, from the Catholic charity level, from the nun that ran the place. And then I found out after trying to fight it, even though I didn't realize it at the time, I tried to fight it. Here I was thinking, no, I'm standing on the right side. I'm standing up for truth. I was wronged, that what they did to this kid was wrong. I couldn't even get him advocacy. I contacted alderman after alderman. Nobody got back to me. The papers didn't get back to me. Then I find out that the politicians are on the board of that hospital. So is the head of the Chicago Tribune. So is Catholic Charities. And I saw, just working in the system, that Catholic Charities didn't care. They go out of their way to just neglect the kids. Catholic Charities, court monitor for wards of the state. Yeah, they shouldn't be. Like, the Catholic Church has this history of child abuse. So do you think Catholic Charities should even be near kids? No, I can tell you they shouldn't. There's a reason that we're never allowed, medical professionals are never allowed to see their full records, kids' records. It's because it would be an alert that you're putting the kids in one abusive home after another. So see, they all protect each other. This organization should be ripped apart and taken off of any contact with kids. And now they're at the border and they are trafficking. And they hide because then all the papers want to say, oh, look at, people are going after Catholic Charities. They're not a charity. They're nothing more than a damn syndicate. And this was 2009. People have written about it, okay? It's not like I'm the only one to ever say this. Wards of the state, the danger of church involvement in government programs. There is no children that are more vulnerable than these, because the state that's corrupt is their guardian. And Catholic Charities is designed to make you think that they're cared for, and they're not being cared for, because the state ward kids have been trafficked. So to think that Catholic Charities isn't just being traffickers at the border, yeah, they are. They'll go down for that. The local protect, they all protect each other. The local government, the state government, Catholic Charities, then your nursing medical associations, they all serve the same diseased, webbed system. That's what people don't understand. And that may be too big for people to think, oh, it can't be that bad. Yes, it is. That's the reason why it doesn't get better, it gets worse. That's the reason why it'll take God Almighty to clean it out, because I don't know how else it'll be handled, because it is the federal, the state, the local Catholic Charities, the Catholic Church, and then you have your medical and nursing associations all intertwined in that. And ACLU has challenged them before for their exclusionary adoption and foster care policies on behalf of children in the DCFS care. So it is a rotten system. So if just think about it, if they were willing to do this to the most vulnerable kids, be this evil, and that's what it is evil. Nobody may want to believe that, but if you worked in it, then you would know what I mean. So, but that's what the state of our country is at. And it all explains why I bring up the Bible so much, because Jesus said the wicked one rules this world, and it's around every corner, and it'll get a hold of you. But you still have to stand up and speak up, because it's the right thing to do. End of story.